What's going on, everybody? CFC DP here with you live. Let me put out the tweet. Sorry. All right, people. Chelsea are in a, we'll go to my man Simon's account here. So Chelsea currently are in a negotiation with Frenkie De Jong and Barcelona, discussing the potential options that De Jong has, to kind of make what's his next moves, because we're kind of at a point here where De Jong is needing to make a choice, and we're kind of at that level. And as much as he has been kind of annoying to Chelsea fans, he has been right a lot this year. And I think Frank, with what I'm reading from these tweets, is that Frenkie De Jong is probably nearing a move to Chelsea. There are a couple signs that lead me towards this assumption. I don't have any information firsthand, but you can kind of put the context clues together. So if I can just go down to managing Barca, today it was determined that Frenkie De Jong's agent had just arrived in Barcelona at 9:30 a.m. Central Time. Now, a lot of Chelsea fans took this as De Jong is prepared to maybe take a reduction in wages. He's prepared to stay at Barca, maybe move that 17 million euros that he's owed and defer that. But what kind of made that change in my mind was the last hour or so. Some of the things from Sky Sports and Gerard Romero were kind of leading towards that. Chelsea are ready to sign both Frenkie De Jong and Aubameyang if FC Barcelona approve. Now, we were kind of aware of this, but this is kind of showing a bit of immediacy from Chelsea to say, let's get this stuff wrapped up today. Ben Jacobs said yesterday that it would be an important 48 hours for Chelsea in terms of De Jong. Something could be done soon, was said by RGAP Journalism. And then, Romero here at these two tweets are saying things are hot, big movements are happening, and we're kind of thinking maybe that does mean De Jong's going to stay. But as we can kind of see here, things slowly started to change within the last half hour. Chelsea want to sign both Frenkie De Jong and Aubameyang key hours ahead. There we go. Next tweet. FC Barcelona have told De Jong's agent that the player must reduce his salary or leave. He does not have a place in the team. Now, that's a pretty telling statement, as far as I'm concerned, to say flat out he's not in the team. And then even furthermore, it gets kind of escalated in the next 23 minutes, saying that an agreement is very close between FC Barcelona and Chelsea for Frenkie De Jong. Now, if this was tweeted before we learned that De Jong's agents were in Barcelona today, I would be a little concerned. But the fact that his agents are in Barcelona and that this deal right here is now being very close to an agreement, I think that's telling, because if he wasn't, if his agents weren't there, this wouldn't be an issue. They further a statement: Chelsea are doing literally everything to sign Frenkie De Jong. These are important hours for Frenkie De Jong to sign to Chelsea. It kind of appears that this player has taken, maybe a step to say, okay, Frenkie De Jong may be coming to Chelsea very soon. So we will definitely stay close with the information at hand. We'll try and see if we can get some information. This is from this morning about De Jong and Fofana. Frenkie De Jong has received serious insults from supporters upon his arrival at the club's training facilities. They're telling him to lower his salary amid interest from Chelsea. Now, I think, at some point, Frenkie De Jong is going to have to come to the table and say, this isn't a good, healthy relationship for me. This is a club that is wanting me to take less than 10 million euros in what they owe me. They're going to be saying, we want you to take less than the wages that we agreed upon. Excuse me. They're saying we want to take less. We want to say that the contract that our previous board agreed upon is no longer valid because of criminal behavior by your agent. So now, if I'm Frenkie De Jong, I have to say, obviously you want to go to Barcelona, and that's why you made the move from Ajax. You were, kind of in the dog days of Barca the last couple of years. Now it seems like they're making an upward turn with their new signings, and now you're the odd man out. And that's really tough for De Jong to have to kind of swallow that pill and say, well, I thought I was going to be the guy that was going to take this thing to the next level. But with Gavi, Pedri, Rafinha, Lewandowski, Dembele, kind of their new signings, new age of players, it appears that De Jong isn't in their minds at the moment. So it's a waiting game. I think today we're going to still hear some pretty big, pretty big things. Here we go. This is from Football London. De Jong in Barcelona meeting as Chelsea in final stretch for transfer agreement. Let's see here. I don't know. I think Chelsea have come to the point where we have said in the beginning, if we're going to bid for De Jong, we need to know that he's interested. And now today that these things are coming out that, bids are being talked about, agreements are close. Chelsea aren't going to do that if the player's not coming. So how does that alter what goes on with the discussions with Frenkie De Jong? We'll have to see how this breaks down over the next 24 hours. I presume that something is going to happen. And, De Jong's just trying to go to training now, and insults from fans are going at him. At some point, you're going to have to say, well, Frenkie, these people clearly don't want you. They see you as a scapegoat. They're trying to replace you already with Bernardo Silva. Do you really want to be there? And I get where Frankie's coming from too. Hey, I made a contract. I made an agreement. I want to stay here. You have to pay me. I'm not going to take the short end of the stick and let you off the hook. However, at a certain point, De Jong kind of has to say, well, am I going to be tarnishing a little bit of what I am as a player to Barcelona? Are people saying, wow, I'm ready to replace you with Bernardo Silva right now and let's get this done and over with? We'll have to see how this goes. As I said before, I think that Frenkie De Jong is the first leg of Chelsea's midfield rebuild. And I think it's super important that people understand that Kovacic, Jorginho, and Conte are all great midfielders in their own right, but the majority of the time, these guys are specialists. De Jong is a new age midfielder that has so many things that he's quality at that you don't have a problem in leaving him in any situation. If Kovacic just has to play defense, you're in a tough situation. If Conte needs to make a final third pass, you're in a tough situation. Jorginho in build-up play is abysmal. Now, those players have great qualities in their own right, but the new age midfielder that Chelsea and Thomas Tuchel wanted to bring in, hence the Chukwuemeka Mweka deal, hence the interest in Jude Bellingham, hence the Frenkie De Jong interest, all of these players have so many tools that you aren't going in a shorthanded situation by leaving them there. And Jay Money says Conte and De Jong will be fire. I agree. I think that to really get the best out of De Jong, you're going to need to see a DM come in. And I think that if you get De Jong this window, you can already pencil in Declan Rice for the next window. I think that was the case beforehand, but pairing De Jong with a Declan Rice is a problem for a lot of Premier League teams. Having two midfielders of their quality and caliber that can kind of rotate within each other, it could be a special thing for Chelsea and Thomas Tuchel, and you see why he's doing it. There's often times where Chelsea are non-decisive in the final third. They can't get the build-up play. They're turning it over in the midfield. And when you look at the creativity problem, a guy like De Jong solves that as well. One of the most elite midfield passers of his age group and just in world football. I think that it's kind of a no-brainer that De Jong would fit in really, really well with Chelsea. Who could we sign at striker? So I'm kind of at a point, and like I said, I don't know if we have any inside information, but if you put together some context clues, you can kind of figure out where this is headed overall. So yesterday, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang was given a new number at Barcelona. Depay's number was given to Robert Lewandowski. Depay does not have a number. Juventus is very interested in Depay. It appears that he would go on a free, and I think that would make it a little bit more advanced. Now, the wild card here is that Tuchel really wants Aubameyang and would command a fee. So if you look at it from a Barcelona perspective, if I would let Depay go on a free, I would not be netting any money. Yes, I would get the wages off his book, but it doesn't really help our financial situation as much as a 17 million euro transfer to Chelsea would, and getting his wages off the book, because Barca needs all the money that they can get. So if you're looking at 80 million euros for De Jong and 17, let's just call it 100 million for the two players from Chelsea. That allows them to register their players. That allows them to probably sign Bernardo Silva. And it gives them the opportunity to get their players going and get their season started. So there's a lot of ulterior motivation here. And I think that the reports are that it's confirmed Barcelona only wants to get rid of one of Depay and Aubameyang. And people are saying, well, Depay to Juventus seems advanced, but Barcelona, to my knowledge, has never said that Depay has been relieved of his contract and can go on a free. They've said that, reports have been out, but Barcelona has never said we're parting ways with Depay and he's free to go. No. So I think they may have thought that, but now that the interest of Aubameyang has come in from Chelsea and they can see 17 million flash in front of their eye, I think that they potentially would rather do that and keep Depay. It's tough to say one way or the other, but I believe that Depay would probably be their least least interesting striker that they would like to keep. They'd like to keep Aubameyang, but when they have so many players to register, you have to make cuts. And Aubameyang isn't as important now as Lewandowski's there. So we'll see. I don't know if Barca are losing Christensen or Kessie. I know the report came out today. I would have a hard time. They could leave as free agents, but they both signed there as free agents. So, if they wanted to go somewhere else, they probably would have done it before. So we'll have to see. I don't think that would happen, but I'm not sure, to be honest with you. If, that's tough with the whole free agency thing. And those players signed for Barca. They were aware of the financial situation at hand. Did they know that they were going to spend on Rafinha and Lewandowski and all this, all those other players? Probably not. But it could be a problem. It could be a huge problem. Chelsea Perspective, my man, thank you so much for tuning in. Please go ahead and check out his channel. Just an excellent content creator. He is one of the most consistent in the business. I'm trying to get like him one day. Let's just do a little refresh to see if there is any more news. I'm not sure who this guy is, to be honest with you. A right back. I've never seen him play. Could be just a nice backup target. I haven't seen him play, so I can't really speak on that matter. Let's see. Anything else of note? I know I hate going to the Barca sources. I think that's it. So, all right, I have to sell if you can. I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't try to get rid of Batshuayi. He's not really offering anything to the club currently. But anyways, okay. Well, I am going to get out of here. I got to go to work. Please stay up to date on my Twitter. CFCDP1 is where you could find me. Please go ahead and subscribe to the channel if there is any breaking news. I will come back to you with that. Please, yes, like the stream, of course, as well as turn your notifications on, because if there is any breaking news during the rest of the course of the day, I will be going on, probably not live. I'll probably put together a video posted around 6:30, 7 o'clock Central Time. So thank you for all that tuned in. I know this was a bit impromptu, but with the news developing about Frenkie De Jong, I thought it was important to get on. So thank you very much. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your evening, and we will speak to you sometime today or at the very latest tomorrow. Thank you.